All right, boys and girls. So tonight we're going to read a story called Professor Wormbog in Search for the Zipperump-a-Zoo. And one of my favorite parts about this book are the awesome illustrations that you're going to see throughout the story. So here we go.
Professor Wormbog in Search for the Zipperump-a-Zoo, written and illustrated by Mercer Mayer. And this spread is just an example of those really cool illustrations you're going to see throughout the story. They have a lot of detail, so don't be afraid to pause the video and zoom in so you don't miss anything. Every time I read the story, there's something else that I noticed that I hadn't noticed before. It's really cool. Professor Wormbog collected beasties. And then it says Phytologump from somewhere else. And it looks like he has like a zoo with his beasties, his collection. He had every beast from A to Y, but his collection was incomplete. There was no Zipperump-a-Zoo in the place marked Z, for the Zipperump-a-Zoo had never been caught. And this is a picture. It says only known picture of the Zipperump-a-Zoo. I'm going to go back a page real quick. So this is his collection. He has a picture of each of his beasties, and they're all in alphabetical order. And you'll notice this says not in stock for the Zipperump-a-Zoo. And you're going to notice a lot of these characters popping up throughout the story. And there's a few of them that follow him along on his adventure. Little Laugh here is his, kind of like his little sidekick who gets into mischief along with Kerploppus. And this one's Icky here. So just keep a lookout for these three characters. Without further ado, Professor Wormbog decided to catch one. He dug a pit both deep and wide. He covered it with sticks and leaves and baited it with tangos and wild yuccananas. And the sign says, reserved for a passing Zipperump-a-Zoo. Please drop in. Thank you. All night long he waited. In the early morning, a loud crash woke him from his sleep. Rushing down, he hoisted out his catch. But it wasn't a Zipperump-a-Zoo. And look who it was. It was Little Laugh. Perhaps a Zipperump-a-Zoo can be found in the sea, thought the professor. With baited hook, he set out in a motorboat. And this says, brush your teeth. Island Joe, rent a boat. And there's a lot of really cool things going on in this picture. First, he caught a big blow-fat glowfish, but he had one already, so he let it go. Then he caught a great glern of the sea, but he had two of them at home, so he let it go. Then something deep under the sea took hold of his line. This must be a Zipperump-a-Zoo, cried the Professor Wormbog. How fierce it is! And this says expert fishing worms, guaranteed by Island Joe. We are the best. And up here it says, wash your hands and feet. Use soap. I wonder if he's going to catch a Zipperump-a-Zoo. After many long hours, he pulled in his catch, but it wasn't a Zipperump-a-Zoo. And it shows it was Little Laugh. Icky says, let's go to work for Island Joe. And Kerploppus says, who's Island Joe? And then over here, Little Laugh says, who's Island Joe? And the professor says, please don't bother me now. Perhaps Zipperump-a-Zoos fly through the air, thought Professor Wormbog, and he disguised himself as a feathered croonie. Dangling from a bunch of balloons, he rose rapidly into the sky. However, Isabella, queen of the croonies, took one look at the disguised professor and fell madly in love. That says, be my Valentine. She took him home to her nest to live happily ever after. Luckily for Professor Wormbog, a storm was brewing. And it shows him in the nest with Isabella. He doesn't look very happy. The rain washed away the glue and the wind blew away the feathers. One look at the professor without his feathers, and Isabella's heart was broken. Leave, she told him. Be gone. Depart. And Little Laugh is sad, but Professor seems to be pretty happy about that. Professor hiked to the top of a craggy peak and looked and looked. But when the peak looked back, and that tooth says pure ivory, he knew it was time to go. No place for a Zipperump-a-Zoo, he thought. Deep in caves and caverns, beneath the earth he traveled. Perhaps the Zipperump-a-Zoo can be found here, he thought. And this says cave painting by Alfonso. Boat. And that must be Alfonso right there. Special tour today only, one-way trip to the bottomless pit. Island Joe Travel Company. This way to the bottomless pit. He looked and looked, even in the blackest pit of all, but nothing of interest could be seen. No Zipperump-a-Zoo here either, he said. And this sign up here says, while you are here, treat your ears to the fantabulous bottomless pit trio. Island Joe. This says, edge of the bottomless pit, beware. It looks like Little F got to the edge and he fainted. And Kerploppus is going down one of those little mine carts. Quite disappointed, Professor Wormbog went home. And all those beasties that he ran into look really sad. Tired and weary, he pushed open his front door. He took off his dusty clothes and jumped into a hot bath. And if you look close, that picture of his mom looks just like him. He made a snack of cookies and milk and curled up before the fire with his favorite book. Too bad, said Professor Wormbog with a sigh. I guess I'll never have a Zipperump-a-Zoo of my very own. Looks like Little F might spy something. And what do you know? Bunch of Zipperump-a-Zoos messing around while the professor's sleeping.
So what did you guys think?
I liked that the professor slept in the couch.
So when the Zipperump-a-Zoos came out at the end?
Yes.
I
What
like
did
the
you
part where he got stuck in the nest with that bird with the really big eyelashes.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good book, isn't it? All right, thanks for watching, you guys.
Bye.